Welcome to Mid-May's instalment. Here we look at what's going on at home in the plant nursery and the beginnings of things and various experiments with cuttings. I hope you enjoy it. A month in now, the purple top Milans should be ready to have some turnip tops from. I've got 4 tubs just outside, which these were covered until only a week ago. We've had torrential rain, but it looks like they're very healthy. I've basically given them some tomato feed and I should be trying them very soon. These are turnip Petrowski, which give a creamy yellow flesh. Again, put in, well, second week in April. Take that out to little young bird's little feather. So they're again grown in tubs. These ones I didn't cover as much as the other ones, and they should be ready in a month. This is pineapple flavoured sage, that's what they said, and when I rub the leaves, sure enough, it does seem to give the aroma of pineapples. Done well in tubs. Yeah, definitely pineapple tinge to that. The fig cutting experiment seems to be coming on, and some of the leaves are actually opening. I don't know whether they're rooted. I'm not going to disturb them, but as you can see, some of the cuttings, they're definitely still alive, and I don't know whether it's just because the leaf buds would already, come out into leaf for it. So I don't know whether I'm going to leave them undisturbed. Seedlings seem to have survived the torrential floods of rain. Got hold of some woodland strawberries on a special offer. I think it was Morrison's. I put these in tubs just for the first year and fed them, and then I won't plant these out until next year. They're quite a tall variety. This year I'm growing tomatoes in grow bags so I can feed them, and I've got a number of these. In the front I've got 4 tomatoes and of different varieties. I've got my next tub here is a cocktail tomato, and basically I'll just see how we get on with these. I think it's just more controllable. I tried growing them in grow bags in my garden last year. They just didn't get enough. They started to get tomatoes and then the autumn came. And this is my brown turkey fig, and I'm growing this in a tub, and basically I'm going to have to put some more drainage into this, but it's doing very well. I'm just obviously wanting to contain the roots. If you grow plum trees in your garden, as I try to, I do find I do get quite a few seedlings actually come up. So this one here, which may well be a Victoria, and then there's another one which is over here. That's another plum seedling. I might lift these up. They won't be ready for planting until the autumn or over the winter when they're dormant. I don't put them in now, in May time, but I've got a few of these in the garden. Just keep an eye on them, and they'll be useful for topping up allotment ones. I have 1 or 2 people ask me what this plant is, because it's got sort of autumnal colours in springtime, and it's a filbert. And I got it because I've got the Kentish cob, and they both cross-pollinate, so it's a beautiful colour, and people do like it as they walk down the street. It's of course it does produce nuts, cob nuts, which the squirrels like. This is my chives, doing quite well here. Lemon balm, I'll keep this right outside the front door. Can make a nice little drink late at night. I'm trying to cut caffeine out of my diet, so I have this at night time. It's a nice soothing calming drink, helps you go to sleep. This is the rocket. It's growing very well in a tub. I did put fleece on it for its early times, because when you get the 2 little original leaves come up, the slugs love it. Took fleece off, and a cat sat on it. Anyway, it did recover. I brought it indoors for a week, and now it's back out again. It's happy again. It's my rocket. This is an apple tree grown from a seed. I've seen 1 or 2 other people have done this on YouTube. Don't know which variety. I have to see how it goes on. These are my tomato moneymaker seedlings. Some of them really slow to germinate this year. 1 or 2 of you said the same thing. It's been quite slow this year, but they're up now. These are called carrot Amsterdams, and they're a mini version, and I'm not even going to bother lifting the fleece up because I'm terrified about root fly. The last lot I had last year, down the allotment didn't work, so this year I'm fleecing them, permanently fleecing them, and as you can see they seem to be doing alright under fleece. This tub are plum tree cuttings taken after the autumn when they're in bud. Some of them have got leaves on them and don't know whether they're roots or not. I put rooting hormone on the stalks underneath and scrape the stalk a little bit as well. Injure it, you have to injure it, cut it at 45-degree angle, injure it, and then anyway I've tubbed them up, they may work. Outside I've sowed bergamot, there's a few cat paws in that, but I've also tried it indoors as well. I've got some more radish which I've sown on the 16th of May, and also trying some calendula and some spring onions. I think the calendula, spring onions and the radish were all specials. They were from Poundland. They're an offer of you got 3 packets of seeds, I believe, for a pound, so I thought I'd give it. My sweet corn, I originally got 20, I'm down to about 16 to 18. I've taken it out of the original pots I got it from Morrison's. I've had to keep it indoors a lot because of the torrential rain. It just didn't like the torrential rain. Put it out during the daytime, it sort of hardens it off slightly, and obviously once the torrential rain stopped, I'll try and plant it out soon. It'll need lots of feeding though, from what I've read, and from what other people have said, it's quite a hungry crop. Felt sorry for this lonely Victoria rhubarb. It had a couple of pathetic little leaves. I thought it was dead, from the National Trust. Brought it home. There's plenty of rotted horse manure in there for some compost, and I thought I'd lost it in the floods, but lo and behold, a new leaf, so it sprung back to life. Bit of TLC from the rhubarb. This one's a Wilco rhubarb, and they actually come on pegs in compost. I just picked the most vigorous ones that actually have leaves that look alive on them, and I got a couple of them, and they've done very well. I've potted them straight away, and it looks very vigorous. This is bush tomato, and I've grown this in a much larger ceramic pot, and I've got bush tomato and cocktail tomato at home. Here we have some radish, and the other tub's purple sprouting broccoli, and at the top there is my beetroot. I got those on a special offer. They were nearly dead. Basically I replanted them and fed them, gave them some tomato feed, and they seem happy enough. And my herbs, I've got my mint and my sage, of course, and then there's coriander and other herbs there like parsley as well, and some more sage there. That was from a little woody cutting there down there. So all doing okay so far. And down the bottom here I've got to keep forgetting to do something about. This is another horseradish I got that was on half price, and it looks a bit flooded after the floods. Here we are, more beetroot, and this beetroot here of course is grows extremely well off the river. Sugar beet factories, just a few miles down the road on the River Trent. Of course it was a source of sugar without having to import the stuff from the West Indies. These myself, I had to take the seedlings out of the little cells and plant them out myself into these trays, and they've been like this. Here we have a couple of quince seedlings grown from seed. Only 2 have come up so far. Crab apples far more successful in coming up, as you can see. On the second layer there, here I've got my kale at the far end there, looking quite straggly. And this is my leek. There's different varieties of leek. I've got Musselburgh leek as one of the varieties, I know that. And yet more beetroot. These are doing okay. I've opened up the top of the plastic now to let the air in and to let the rain in, basically, so I don't have to water and worry about them. And in the other one I've also done similarly, opened up the top to let the air in because it has got very hot and humid recently. And at the top there I've got leeks. It's mostly leeks in that one. There's some tomato seedlings, I don't know if we can make them out there underneath. There's some tomato seedlings at the bottom. Let's see if we can get... I've got more leeks. They seem happier now. I've taken the plastic off the top now. We're well into May, and there's some tomato seedlings I've got. Thankfully a happy story for my opal plum, which was sawed off by someone's chainsaw when they were gardening next door. It looks like nature is ever bountiful and resourceful, and here we are. It's sprung back to life. And this is a sapling that's grown from seed. And the patience with pollinating yourself using watercolour paintbrushes, as I've explained in other videos, does pay off. You do get a crop, so trust me, it works. This is in my garden, a very non-ideal place because it's suburban, very much hemmed in by other people, neighbours, etc. But if you pollinate yourself, and as long as you prune heavily, as I have with this tree here, really opened up the branches, you can see, you can get a... There's one of the blackbird nests in my garden. They're going absolutely crackers because magpies just keep raiding. I presume that you're going to just have to find somewhere else to nest. You can hear the parents, they actually attack the magpies, but to no avail. But luckily they're prolific nesters. Not so keen on having them nest in my garden, it's just not safe enough here, too much traffic. But I do provide the right environment for them to feed and to roost overnight, but nesting's a different matter, isn't it? And there's poor daddy blackbird in the torrential rain, berating the fact the magpie's just raided his nest for about the 16th time. But as a parent, he'll just keep on trying. He won't give in. And hopefully he and his partner will have a successful nest this year. Let's hope so in 2017 as the monsoon continues in May in the UK. You have to admire them, don't you? That's me signing off now. Just a look at some of these strawberries coming on, and some herbs there doing okay at the back then.